Hello, my dear one. I am Louise Hay. Today we will gently hold one of the most sacred fears a heart can carry, the worry of passing your own pain onto your children. You look at them so full of light, and you vow to protect them from the shadows that once haunted you. This is a promise born from the purest form of love. And yet, in a moment of stress, you hear an old, critical tone in your voice, or you feel that familiar knot of anxiety tighten in your stomach once more. This can bring such a wave of guilt, can't it? A feeling that you are failing at the most important job in the world despite your very best intentions. I am here to tell you that this fear is not a sign of your weakness. It is the voice of your soul calling you back home to your own healing, my love. The patterns you dread are not your identity. They are simply echoes of old lessons, learned in a time when you, too, were a child needing reassurance. We cannot give what we do not have. Many of us were never taught the language of unconditional self acceptance. We were taught to earn love, not embody it. That heavy feeling is the weight of breaking a chain. It is a noble and sacred work, and it is perfectly all right to feel tired from carrying it all alone. But the answer isn't in more self criticism or trying to be perfect. The true path to their freedom is found in the radical acceptance of your own journey. Today, we will learn to turn that fear into fuel for profound self love. We will heal ourselves to set them free. Let's begin this beautiful work together. The root of this fear, my love, is a profound misunderstanding. We were taught that we must be perfectly whole before we can guide another. This idea comes from a deeper belief that our negative feelings are flaws, that our anxiety or our sadness makes us fundamentally broken. So we try to hide our humanity from our children. We build a wall of perfection, hoping to protect them from the parts of ourselves we do not love. But the true pattern you fear passing on is not your occasional impatience. It is not the flash of anger or the wave of exhaustion you may feel. The pattern is the brutal self-judgment that comes after, the inner voice that condemns you for being human, for having a difficult moment. That is the real echo from the past, the belief that we are only worthy of love when we are calm, happy, and pleasing to others. It is untrue. Your children are not learning that you are flawed when you are stressed. They are learning what you believe about people who are stressed. They watch to see how you treat yourself. Do you offer yourself forgiveness, or do you meet yourself with harsh criticism and shame? That is the lesson. We have confused being a good parent with being an emotionless one, but feelings are not the danger. A lack of self-compassion is the danger. The central belief we are here to dissolve is, my pain and my mistakes make me a failure as a parent. This is a lie we inherited. This belief was formed when your own inner child learned that certain emotions were unacceptable, that to be loved, they had to be good. It was a survival tool, a way to navigate a world that may not have had space for the full truth of your feelings, a brilliant strategy then. And now, that part of you is terrified of repeating the cycle. It is trying to protect your children by policing your every thought and feeling. The diagnosis, then, is not that you are broken. It is that you were taught to treat yourself as if you were. That is all. The work is not to erase your wounds. It is to finally learn how to love the person who has them. That person is you right now. So let's have an honest conversation, you and I, a gentle accounting of the heart. How many times have you replayed a moment with your child, criticizing your every word? How often does that inner critic tell you that you've already failed them? Do you hold your breath, waiting for the moment you make a mistake? Do you apologize for having needs, for being tired, for being human? When was the last time you allowed yourself to be messy and imperfect without shame? How much energy do you spend policing your own feelings, trying to be the perfect parent? Is that energy leaving you depleted, with little left for true connection? Do you feel like you are performing a role, rather than living your truth with them? What is the cost of this performance, your joy, your spontaneity? Do you find yourself saying yes when your whole body is screaming no? Do you silence your own frustration, only for it to seep out as resentment later? How heavy is the armor of perfection you wear each day? Does it feel like you are carrying the weight of generations on your shoulders? Do you believe your children need a flawless guide or an honest one? How often do you tell yourself, I should be better than this? Who taught you that should? Whose voice is that truly? Was it a parent, a teacher, a society that demanded perfection? And did that demand ever truly make you feel loved, or did it make you feel anxious? Think about the last time you felt angry or overwhelmed. What was your very next thought? Was it a thought of compassion like, this is hard? Or was it a thought of condemnation like, what is wrong with me? This is the pattern. This is the true inheritance we fear passing on. You worry about your tone of voice, but what about the tone of your self-talk? Your children feel that inner vibration far more than they hear your occasional sharp word. Do you believe you must hide your tears from them? What does this teach them about sadness, that it is something to be ashamed of? Do you pretend you are not tired when you are utterly exhausted? What does this teach them about their own limits, that they should be ignored? How many times have you dismissed your own intuition because you were afraid of being wrong? Do you praise them for their achievements, but condemn yourself for your perceived failures? What does this teach them about the nature of worthiness? That it is conditional, that it must be earned day after day. Consider your own inner child, the little one inside you. How does she feel when you speak to yourself with such harshness? Does she feel safe, or does she hide, fearing your judgment? You are trying so hard to protect your children from the pain you once felt. But in doing so, are you inflicting that same pain upon yourself right now? What if the most healing thing you could do for them is to finally be kind to you? How many beautiful, present moments have been stolen by worry about the future? How many nights have you laid awake, cataloging your mistakes? Is this constant self-evaluation bringing you closer to peace, or pushing it further away? You fear they will inherit your anxiety. But isn't the real inheritance the belief that anxiety makes you a bad person? Do you see the subtle difference, my love? The feeling is not the problem, the judgment is. How much of your life is spent trying to control outcomes? Trying to guarantee their happiness, their success, their perfect childhood. Isn't that an impossible burden for one person to carry? Where in your body do you feel this pressure? In your shoulders, your jaw, your stomach. That tension is a message. It is your body asking for release. It is asking you to let go of the belief that you must be perfect. Do you ever feel like an imposter in your own home? Afraid that one day they will see the real you and be disappointed? My dear one, the real you is the one they already love unconditionally. It is only you who places these conditions on your own heart. How many times have you compared yourself to other parents? Scrolling through images of perfection, feeling you fall short. This comparison is a thief of joy. It is an act of violence against your own unique journey. Who were you before you became a parent? Do you remember her? Do you remember the parts of you that were wild and free and unapologetic? Where did those parts go? Did you tuck them away, believing they were not motherly? What if your children need to see that wildness, that freedom? What if your wholeness is the greatest gift you could ever give them? This exhaustion you feel is not a personal failing, it is a spiritual crisis. It is the cry of a soul that is tired of pretending, tired of trying to be small and safe and perfect, tired of believing that love must be earned through self-sacrifice. Are you ready to hear the truths? You are already enough. You were enough on the day you were born. You are enough in this very moment. Your worth is not up for debate. It is a fundamental truth of your existence. The solution, my love, is not to try harder. It is to finally deeply let go. The path forward is not a war against your flaws. It is a peace treaty with your humanity. You have been trying to fix something that was never broken. You were only taught that it was. So the great turn we make today is inward. We stop policing and we start mothering ourselves. And I can hear your mind resisting already, a little voice that says, but that is selfish. Let's be very clear, mothering yourself is not selfish. It is the ultimate act of generosity. Your children do not need a perfect mother. They need a mother who knows how to be kind to herself. This is how they learn to be kind to themselves. You are their most important teacher of self-love. You are not abandoning them by turning your gaze inward. You are clearing the path for them. Another voice may whisper, if I am not hard on myself, I will lose control. I will fail. My dear, self-criticism is not a motivator. It is a cage. It has never inspired true, lasting change. Self-compassion is not an excuse. It is the very source of the strength and resilience you seek. Criticism drains your energy. Compassion replenishes it, giving you more to offer from a full heart. This is not about letting yourself off the hook. It is about holding yourself with loving hands instead. The choice is simple. Do you want to parent from a place of fear or from a place of love? Parenting from fear is that constant self-monitoring, that harsh inner critic, that tension. Parenting from love is accepting your humanity. It is modeling forgiveness right in the moment. You do not need to become a different person. You only need to love the person you already are. And loving yourself does not mean you will never feel anger or frustration again. Of course not. It means that when those feelings arise, you meet them with understanding instead of shame. You give yourself permission to be human. This is the greatest permission you can model for your child. Healing the family line is not about blaming your parents or how you were raised. Let that go. They did the best they could with the understanding they had, just as you are doing now. This is not an act of judgment on the past. It is an act of liberation for the future. You are the bridge between what was and what can be. What a powerful, sacred position to hold. So let go of the belief that you must erase your past to create a beautiful future for them. Your scars do not make you a liability. Your healing of them makes you a guide. You teach them that wounds can be tended to, that it is safe to be vulnerable and imperfect. This is a far greater lesson than any performance of perfection could ever offer. The solution is not another parenting book or a new strategy. It is simpler than that. It is the hand you place on your own heart when you are struggling. It is the breath you take. It is the gentle whisper to yourself, "This is a hard moment. It is okay. I am doing my best." This is not about adding more to your plate. It is about changing how you carry what is already there. Let's release the idea that self-love is a grand, time-consuming project. It is not. It is a series of small, gentle moments of choosing kindness over criticism. That is all. It is choosing to forgive yourself for snapping instead of replaying it all night. It is honoring your need for rest instead of pushing through to the point of collapse. It is celebrating your own small victories with the same joy you offer your children. You do not have to be cold to set a boundary. You just have to be honest with your own capacity. Saying no to something does not make you a bad mother. It makes you an authentic one. And your children need your authenticity far more than they need your exhausted compliance. You have the power to stop this cycle of inherited self-criticism right now, in this moment. You do it by deciding that your own well-being is not a luxury, but a necessity for your family. You choose to believe that by healing yourself, you are offering them the greatest protection of all. Are you ready to make that choice? If so, write EU Mariso Nos Comentarios, claim this truth. Excellent, by claiming your deservingness, you have unlocked the door to real transformation. Now I will give you a simple, powerful tool, a key to use whenever that old fear returns. This is not a complex strategy. The most profound healing is always rooted in simplicity. If it is safe for you to do so, I invite you to gently close your eyes. Place a hand over your heart. Feel its steady, loving rhythm beneath your palm. It is your truth. Take a slow, deep breath in, filling your lungs with new possibility, and exhale the old guilt. Now we will plant a new seed, a new belief. Repeat this first part softly with me. I give myself permission to be human. Feel the immense relief in those simple words. Permission to be messy, permission to feel tired, permission to not have every answer. This is not an excuse to fail. It is an exhale of relief, the sound of a cage door opening. Feel that tension in your shoulders begin to soften. The armor you wear starts to melt. You no longer have to fight against your own nature. You can simply be with it. Let's breathe that in one more time, allowing it to settle. I give myself permission to be human. This is the bedrock of inner peace, the radical acceptance of what is right now. Now let's add the second part, the part that liberates not just you, but everyone you love. My love for myself sets them free. Let that profound truth land in your heart. Your self compassion is not a selfish act, it is the most generous gift you can offer. When you model self forgiveness after a mistake, you teach them how to forgive themselves. When you honor your own limits, you teach them that their own limits are valid and sacred. This is how the cycle is broken, not with a performance of perfection, but with authentic self love. Let's repeat that powerful truth, feel it in your bones. My love for myself sets them free. The responsibility is not to be flawless, it is simply to be a living example of self kindness. Now let's bring it all together. Take a deep breath and speak this from your soul. I give myself permission to be human. My love for myself sets them free. Say it again, a little louder this time if you can. Let the vibration of it fill you. Imagine these words are a warm, golden light igniting in the center of your chest. See this light expanding, soothing the tight places in your jaw, your neck, and your stomach. This golden light is your compassion, it is your acceptance, it is your truth. Picture this light dissolving the old, invisible chains of inherited self-criticism. With every repetition, another link of that heavy chain simply turns to dust and vanishes. I give myself permission to be human. My love for myself sets them free. You are consciously replacing the old programming of fear with a new frequency of love. This is the real work, not out there trying to manage everything. It is right here inside you. It is the gentle, powerful choice to be kind to yourself when you need it the most. Feel that immense weight lifting from your shoulders. It was never truly yours to carry. This statement is your new anchor. It is your compass when the storms of doubt arise. Keep your hand on your heart, one more time with all the conviction you can feel. I give myself permission to be human. My love for myself sets them free. This is your new reality. This is the beautiful, loving legacy you are creating today. Take one final deep breath in and let this peaceful truth settle deep within you. It is done. Do you feel that shift deep within your soul? The question you arrived with is not the question you are leaving with. This is the nature of true, profound healing. You came here asking, how do I stop my pain from touching my children? It is a beautiful question born from a heart filled with the purest form of protective love. You believed the solution was to build a fortress of perfection around them. You thought you needed to erase your past and become an unbreakable, flawless shield. But can you feel now how exhausting that path truly is? It is a performance, not a life. It demands that you amputate parts of your own authentic self. The desire to protect them from your flaws was actually a symptom of your own fear of your flaws. It was never about them, not really. It was about your own pain. You were trying to solve an internal problem with an external strategy. You were trying to manage their future environment instead of healing your own inner world. You see, the goal was never to become a flawless parent. What a terrible burden that would be to place upon a human heart. It is an impossible, loveless task. That goal keeps you trapped in a cycle of hypervigilance and self-criticism. It is a prison disguised as responsibility. It is the very pattern you wish to break. The true goal, the one your soul has been longing for, is so much more gentle. It is so much more liberating for everyone, especially for your own spirit. The real journey is not to hide your humanity from them. It is to finally, radically, and lovingly embrace your own humanity right in front of them. You thought they needed a parent who never made mistakes. This is the great misunderstanding. It is the core of so much of our inherited suffering as parents. What they truly need is a parent who shows them what to do after a mistake is made. They need to see you model the art of graceful, compassionate self-forgiveness. You thought they needed a parent who never felt sad or angry. You believed you had to hide your tears and swallow your frustration to keep them safe from your feelings. What they truly need is to see that all feelings are safe, that tears can heal, and that anger can be honored without causing harm. You teach them emotional honesty. You were so focused on not passing down your wounds. You were trying to give them a life without any scars, but a life without scars is a life that has not been lived. The real gift is not a scar-free existence. The real gift is showing them with your own life that our scars do not make us unlovable, they make us resilient. Do you see the profound shift in perspective, my dear one? The focus moves away from them and returns home to you. it always comes back home to the self. You stop trying to control their experience of you, which is impossible, and you start lovingly tending to your own experience of yourself, which is everything. You came here wanting to stop them from inheriting your anxiety. That was the X you were trying to solve. You saw it as a toxic legacy to be avoided at all costs. But the true liberation, the why, is to model for them what a person who feels anxiety does. She holds herself with kindness, she gives herself grace, she breathes. The problem was never the anxiety itself. The problem was the harsh judgment you layered on top of it, the belief that it made you a bad parent. That is the true poison. When you release that judgment against yourself, the poison dissolves. The anxiety may still visit, but it is no longer a catastrophe. It is just a visitor. You thought your job was to be a perfect role model, but your real job is to be a human model, one who is learning to love herself through her perfect imperfections. This path is not about perfection, it is about presence, being present with your own heart, your own needs, your own truth at this very moment. You are not abandoning your children by doing this. You are finally giving them the one thing they need most, a parent who is at peace with her own soul. A parent who is not performing is a parent who is free, and your freedom gives them implicit permission to be free as well. This is the most sacred inheritance. So let's state the new truth plainly. Let this be the revelation that settles every fear and quiets every doubt that has ever haunted your loving heart. The goal was never to stop your children from seeing your cracks. The goal was to let them see you pour golden, loving light into your own cracks, healing yourself. You were not put on this earth to be a perfect parent for them. You were put on this earth to become the unconditionally loving parent to your own inner child. And in mastering that singular sacred task, you automatically become the exact parent your children are destined to have, an authentic, healing, and honest guide. This is the great secret. This is the end of the war with yourself. You do not need to be fixed. You only need to be held, and the holder is you. The weight you felt was the burden of trying to be two people, the real you and the perfect you. Today, you are letting the perfect one go. She was an illusion. In her place stands a real woman, a woman with a history, with failings, with needs, a woman who is, right now, choosing to love herself completely. This is the energy that will heal your family line, not your perfection, but your self-acceptance, not your flawlessness, but your deep and abiding self-compassion. This is the legacy that lasts. This is the love that liberates. It begins and ends with the kindness you are willing to show to your own beautiful human heart. You release the need to be their shield and instead become their compass, a compass that always, always points back to the magnetic north of self-love. This is your truth now. This is the peace you have been searching for in every book, in every piece of advice, in every worried, sleepless night. It was here all along. You have the power to embody this freedom, not just for them, but for you, because you deserve to live without the constant weight of self-judgment. You deserve peace. If you are ready to embody this new legacy of authentic self-love, write PAZ in the comments. Declare your commitment to this beautiful, healing path. Imagine your life now free from the weight of perfection. You breathe deeper, you smile more easily. This peace is not just for you, it's a gift that echoes through your entire home. You have become a beacon of authenticity, showing your children that it is safe and lovable to be human. This is the most liberating inheritance you could ever offer. It is true freedom. Did you enjoy this reflection? This inward journey is the most sacred one we can take. I am honored to have walked this part of the path beside you today, from my heart to your own. From which city are you listening today? Knowing where this seed of healing is sprouting warms my soul. Let's connect lovingly in the comments and build our community of gentle hearts. If you felt this message healed something deep within you, please consider supporting my work by sending a super thanks. Your generosity helps me to continue this mission of love. Your support allows this compassionate message to reach other hearts who are also carrying this heavy burden. It is an act of collective healing that we do together, one soul at a time. Always remember, my love, that self-love is the most powerful medicine in the universe. It is the fertile soil from which all true and lasting peace will ultimately blossom for you. Please don't forget to subscribe for our next healing journey together. There is always more love to uncover and more peace to claim as our divine birthright. I will be waiting for you. Go forward from this moment knowing that you are whole, you are worthy, and you are more than enough exactly as you are. Carry this newfound peace inside your heart. It is yours now. I see you, I love you, And until we meet again, be so very gentle with your own beautiful heart. You are doing a wonderful job. Until next time, my dear and cherished one.